So my name is Erin O'Connell, and I'm a continuing lecturer here in the Department of Geography and Environmental Management at the University of Waterloo. I'm also the Associate Chair undergrad for some of our programs here in the department. So I would say my pathway to where I've come is actually quite a twisted, winding road. And my mom actually kind of pushed me towards that a little bit. She always thought I'd be a good teacher. And so I decided that I would do that, but I decided I wanted to do a PhD because I was so interested in this hazards area. My primary research area is looking at disaster risk reduction, looking at natural hazards, and in particular, I tend to focus my research on that post-disaster recovery period. My PhD research focused on a big earthquake, the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, the earthquake and tsunami that happened in a place called Yogyakarta in Indonesia. And actually, while I was there, the volcano that is located just at the northern part of the city, it erupted. It's actually a very active volcano. It was the biggest eruption in almost 150 years. And so a number of people were evacuated, well, like hundreds of thousands of people were evacuated off the slopes of the volcano, and you know, the city was kind of shut down because it was covered in ash. And For the earthquake itself, my research was focused on really long-term recovery. So looking at even after aid organizations had left and after the funding to do that had left, what are they doing to influence long-term vulnerability reduction? And so really I just sort of see that process as being a person who collects and gathers and in a systematic way, like records the knowledge that the people on the ground already have. Usually a typical day is heading out to the village, you know, have 2 or 3, sometimes 4 interviews with various people, local people that have been impacted or experienced the recovery effort. There was this one community that was led by this really amazing woman who just kind of took charge in this community. And she just, you know, implemented a whole range of different types of livelihood programs in the community. So, you know, 1 or 2 people got some training and some support to open hairdressing businesses, you know, and then other people bought trees, and people were able to plant durian trees, and they reduced the number of households living in poverty by 50% in like a 3-year period. I told her, I said, you know, Ibu Suraya, you should go to conferences and share what you've done here. And she said, no, I don't do this for awards or recognition. That's not why I do this. She said, but I invite other people to come to the village, people like you to come, so you can see what's happening here and you can go and share that message. You know, as a woman, I just thought, wow, that's awesome. All of the research is kind of focused on that, like how can we do better? How can we recover better? How can we prepare better? I see my job as kind of just collecting their knowledge and putting it out there in a way that maybe is accessible to different organizations and decision makers and policy makers and things like that. I actually use my research a lot in my teaching because I think that, you know, a lot of times we remember stories, right? We remember the stories that people tell about different things rather than if I just said, here's concept X and here's how we define it and then here's how we apply it and here's concept Y. And so I really try to use stories to exemplify some of those concepts. I think I pull a lot from these various experiences that I've had in my research to try to exemplify to students, like, this is how this concept works on the ground, or, you know, here's some meaning that I think is valuable from this particular story. And I think that students tend to remember those types of things. I think it's the stories that hit home that really get messages across. So that's how I really try to interconnect the two. When people feel that personal impact, that's when people really start to sort of stand up. Yeah, for me, I think a great lecture is something that the students find to be of value. And leaving and feeling like it was a valuable experience, like they got something out of it. So.